in them might fall out. The company says the seats were manufactured between 2016 and 2023 and that it will send owners a new seat pad, a screwdriver, and an instruction kit on how to clean the debris out of the adjuster. Parents had noticed the problem and petitioned the government asking for the recall. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Tesla is recalling close to 700,000 vehicles due to a problem with the warning light on the tire pressure monitoring system. The warning system may not remain lit, letting drivers know there's a problem. The company is giving affected owners a software update free of charge. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden spreading holiday cheer Friday, visiting children undergoing treatments at Children's National Hospital in Washington.
With the president seated next to her, First Lady Jill Biden read The Night Before Christmas to a group of children at Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. Friday, an annual holiday tradition.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
While the First Lady read, the president played catch with the toddler, who kept walking up and handing him a ball. At one point, the young boy even threw the ball at the president, who laughed and played along. The hospital staff said Mr. Biden is the first president to visit Children's 4 years in a row. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
And I'm Dave Packer, ABC.
It's Martin Papa's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 UTSA and FM 107.1. Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are live on 550 AM, FM 107.1 KTSA, KTSA.com, and of course on Facebook Live this morning. It is the Rockin' Home Show, and glad to be with you this beautiful, beautiful morning. I'm coming to you today from beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico. Jim is in studio, and we're both here to help.
We are here to help. That's my tagline.
Well, you missed it, brother. You missed it. All right. Well, listen, hey, everybody, we're glad to be here. Glad you're here. Hope you're having a wonderful week. I know that it's a hectic time of year for many people. It's that down to the wire Christmas gift shopping season.
Getting LLCs filed, insurance filed.
Yeah, you got a lot going on too. We all got a lot going on. I get it. But with that being said, if you are still looking for gifts, might not be the time to order online. May not get there by Christmas now. So you may want to consider going in person and doing it the old-fashioned way, braving the crowds and all the other people who put it off until the last minute. And we all know there's lots of procrastinators out there. It happens all the time. We we have done most of ours, I believe. I think we've probably got a little bit to do today, maybe for the adults. I think the kids are all sealed up. We got everything from the kiddos. Good morning to Teresa. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thank you so much. Lots of thumbs ups coming there. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. What's up, brother? I gotta get this little thing set up here. There we go. That's some reason this particular headset is not. There we go. Now we're good. Hey, it is the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. It's Rockin' Home Show with Martin Bamba, and glad to have you here this morning. It is just right around the corner. We got Christmas coming up next week, everybody. So if you haven't made your plans to get all your shopping done, get it done. That's what I'm saying to you. And there's lots of great stuff out there. Lots of good stuff to look at this year. But most of all, I want to tell you, to remember why we celebrate Christmas, and don't get stressed out, and don't Christmas, we forget sometimes, is also a time for people to be down and reminisce about things that maybe not so happy, right? Maybe you're not so happy, and the loss of loved ones and things of that nature. It's natural. Surround yourself with friends and family, and remember why we celebrate this season, and what it's really about. I saw a really great post this morning, and it said, "Lord, let this year not be the year that I get everything that I want, but the year that I appreciate everything that I have." And I think that's a wonderful sentiment. I really do. I really think that's awesome.
We have a Savior. He was born, he died, he is resurrected. That's Christmas.
That is Christmas. And listen, I'm not offended when somebody says happy holidays to me. It does not offend me one bit. So please don't be offended when I say Merry Christmas to you. Be kind. I end the show like this every single time we do this show, and I will continue to until I'm done doing it. Be kind to somebody, make the world a better place. And you can do that. You can choose to do that. You can choose to be positive. You can choose to go out and make somebody's day brighter. Had a long conversation. I mean, we are so far off topic of home improvement this morning, but that's all right. That's okay. Want everybody to know that is the Rockin' Home Show. And if you have home improvement questions, the phone lines are open at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. Good morning to Johnny out there. Good to see you, Johnny. Shirley is out there watching us this morning, as she is every Saturday. Thank you for being there, Shirley. Always like seeing your name up there. It doesn't take much to affect change on a micro level in your world. Had a conversation with one of my kiddos yesterday, and he was lamenting the fact that that the world kind of is a sad place sometimes, and that there's a lot of unkindness going on, and a lot of bad things that are happening in our world, and I can't deny that there is. But getting stressed over everything that you have no control over does not help the situation. You, on an individual level, can help affect change in your microcosm, your circle, your community, your town. You can help affect that. And that's where you start. And if enough people do that, things will start to change. But to expect to do it to change everything overnight, not going to happen. And stressing yourself out over it is only detrimental to you. And that's my message this morning to everybody is find some peace in your heart. Remember that this is the peaceful time of year. It's a time for forgiveness. It's a time for love. It's a time for celebrating. Yes, indeed. But it's hard to do that whenever you are completely stressed about everything. There's nothing worth getting that stressed about.
Have absolutely no control. No one has any control over what's going to happen.
Nobody.
All you have control over is how you react to what happens.
Amen. Amen. And that's the truth.
Act positively or negatively. That's your choice. But all you can control is your reaction.
Absolutely true. And as long as you are in control of your reaction, that's all you can ask for. I mean, really and truly, that's all you can ask for. Who do we have up on the line this morning, Jim?
Be Thomas.
Well, let's get Thomas in here. Thomas, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show. Good morning.
Couple of nights ago, I noticed I had a little puddle of water in my bedroom here. I thought, well, maybe somebody spilled something or whatever. But anyway, I believe I've got a leak coming up through the tile. And I had a plumber come over here and he checked everything, and there's no pipes. The house is built in 1980, so it's an old house. It's got copper pipe and this is really screwy. I mean,
What type of tile do you have with that bedroom?
it's ceramic tile.
Okay, you need to get leak detection out there. It doesn't matter if there's any plumbing lines under that slab at that point. The leak could be coming from 20, 30 feet away and traveling under the tile until it finds a place to get out.
That's a funny thing about leaks, Thomas, is they rarely present themselves exactly where they are occurring. They travel, and it happens. We see it all the time. So Jim's right.
It's not doing it.
Hmm.
The puddle there, I had it marked. Excuse my voice. My voice is kind of weak sometimes.
No worries, Thomas.
About as big as a saucer. I had it there with a paper towel over it, and I had the plumber coming over, and my wife, God bless her, she goes into the front, you know. I told her, well, she said, well, I just wiped it up. I said, yeah, but I had to mark where we, anyway, the plumber told me the same thing. He said, there's no pipes there, because it's, I know where the pipes run from the house, from the outside to the sink in the, in the bathroom. It's about, I guess about 10 or 15 feet away.
You know, my first question is, do you have a dog? No dog. Okay, okay.
But no, it's not. And every morning I got a real bright light.
Could it have been? Now, listen. I mean, this sounds silly. This sounds silly, Thomas. But I want to throw this out there because it's happened to me. My wife and I get up in the middle of the night. One of us goes and gets a glass of water. One of us trips a little bit, spills a little bit of water. Don't remember we did it. We get up in the morning and there's a puddle of water somewhere along the way. Is that a possibility? Could it have been a spill of some kind that maybe you just didn't know happened?
I even had my youngest son get on a ladder and see if there was a drip, from the ceiling, but there's no pipes up there. The only thing it could have been was, and we hadn't been using the AC where it'd be any moisture.
Man, I don't know what to say about that other than if a plumber can't figure it out, Jim and I are probably not going to diagnose it over the air.
Wait and see if it comes back. When
Yeah.
it comes back, leave it. Tell your wife, don't clean it up. Leave it. Get leak detection out there. They're going to use ultrasonic and temperature to find the trail of water under the tile.
Right. Well, that's what I'm afraid of. I thought, well, leak, if it's small now, it's just going to get bigger.
That
I know this old line in the water, it's probably done, and, it corrodes its copper.
well, that's the nature of a leak. It does not get better. It does not stay
No,
the same.
no, it only gets worse. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, Thomas, thanks for calling this morning. Let us know how that turns out. I would love to find out exactly what is going on there whenever you do find out. And we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to Dennis first. Your calls too at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. But let's talk about Apple Pest Control. Apple Pest Control is the pest control company that I use for all of my pest control needs and have for years and years and years. They are just tops in the business. They're a family-owned company. They've been in operation since 1984. That's a long time, folks. That's a long time. And we have been so pleased with them that even if I didn't speak for them on the radio, I still tell people that I meet out that ask me for advice on things or ask me for recommendations. Apple Pest Control is the pest control company that I recommend to everyone. And the reason for that is simple. They do fantastic work. They keep my home pests free. Doesn't matter if it's ants, fleas, roaches, scorpions, termites, doesn't matter. This time of year, rodents can be a problem because it's cold outside. You definitely want to keep Apple Pest Control's number handy in case you need them for something like that. They are just the best in the business, and they can also help you fertilize and weed treat and keep your lawn healthy over the dormant season, so you have a beautiful lawn in the growing season. It's all from my friends at Apple Pest Control. Be sure to ask about organic pest control as well. Apple Pest Control, 210-695-8946. That's 210-695-8946. Online at applepestcontrol.com. I, I can barely hear you, buddy. Say again. Just the regular one is fine. Yeah, no, that's cool. I don't have the other one out right now, and for some reason your texts don't come through on that one. I'm just watching my screen, and whenever it pops up, I write it down. Yeah, the one that I texted you from earlier, that's the one you should be texting to. Okay, thanks, Edwin.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 ATSA and FM 1071.
Yeah, it's that time of year. So I had somebody tell me last week that they couldn't hear the music on the Facebook live feed for some reason. I hope you're hearing it today because they told me that they watched us rocking out, playing air guitar, singing. Must have looked like we were insane.
So for just a second, I know what it's going to be. I don't want to see if I hear.
Okay. All righty. Hey, it is that time of year. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody. Good morning to all those watching us out there. Teresa, Shirley, James. Hey, good morning, Tammy. Thanks for being out there this morning. Appreciate you being on the show and being a part of it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, yeah, I don't know what happened last week, but I'm doing the exact same thing. It's gremlins in the machine. That's what it is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is.
I'll bring in my iPad.
Okay, cool.
Got a way to do what you wanted.
We're all good. We're all good. Hey, listen, phone lines are open 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. Let's go to Dennis. Dennis, good morning. Welcome to the show. Howdy, howdy. Well, Dennis, you're the only Dennis that ever calls us, so I know it's you.
Anyway, we moved in our house in '73, and it came with a Thermador wall oven. Would you all know of anybody that works on vintage appliances?
Shoot me an email at jim.achhelp@gmail.com.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
But yeah, you're welcome, Dennis. Thank you. And yes, the answer is there. Merry Christmas, brother. Merry Christmas. The answer to that, though, short answer is yes. There are people who still work on Thermador. There's still people that will service those things. Yes.
Company starting in January, but right now I can do ovens, refrigerators, all that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I never think about you working on ovens. I never think about that. But yeah, it's and
Repertoire.
and Thermador is a big brand. Yeah,
High end.
very. Yeah.
Still in the 70s, and it's still today, and it's very specialized. The parts, everything must be Thermador.
Correct. Yeah. It's not. I mean, yeah, you got your normal consumer brands like GE and KitchenAid and Whirlpool and LG and Samsung and all of those, but then there are the ultra high end appliances like the Thermador and the Wolf and the what's the other one that was like the gold standard? Viking. Thank you. The Viking brand.
And working on your mother's kitchen.
Yeah, yeah. She had a Thermador. That's right.
Loved Viking refrigerators.
No, it was not a Viking. It was a Sub-Zero. They had a Sub-Zero.
One in the house and one on the back porch.
Yeah, yeah. When that cycle went out, it would go to the back porch, and then the new one would go in the kitchen.
Yep.
But yeah, they swore by Sub-Zero. I've had one Sub-Zero refrigerator since then, and it was okay. I mean, I'm not going to say it wasn't a good refrigerator. It was. It was a great refrigerator, but I don't know that it's worth, you know.
It was the longest lasting refrigerator in the world.
Yeah, I've no doubt about that. I have no doubt about that. Hey,
It was all done with quick components.
okay.
Part was
Easy change out. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I think is missing a lot in today's components because planned obsolescence is built into almost everything nowadays, is the ability to easily work on it. And
refrigerator, Whirlpool, LG, whatever. And you have it for 5 years, 6 years. The compressor goes out. That compressor is going to cost you almost as much as replacing the refrigerator.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know what? I gotta say, I've had really, I probably should knock on wood and say a little prayer, but I've had really good luck with my LG appliances. I've had real good luck with them.
We got LG refrigerator.
Yeah, I've got all LG refrigerator, stove, everything, and their technology is outstanding. I've got the Wi-Fi and all of that to where I know whenever the oven is on and I've left it on, or I know whenever it's preheated. I know when my wash cycle is done on my washer and dryer. All pretty cool stuff but I've had long lasting luck with those. Not recommending them to anybody. I'm just telling you what I've experienced. Let's get back to the phone lines, 210-599-5555. Let's go to William. William, good morning. Welcome to the show. Merry Christmas, William.
General Electric 40-gallon water heater that have access on the exterior of the house through the brick veneer, open a wood door, and there it is. And it's leaking rusty red water out of the top, dripping down to the bottom, and probably a pint a day coming down out of that and flowing down the brick veneer. And I was wondering, it's still getting good hot water in the house, but you think it's just a ticking time bomb, or when something is going to completely...
On a 2011, yeah.
You've got a weeping TMP valve, temperature pressure relief valve. Can you see where the pipe, when it comes in, comes out of the wall? Is it right beside the water heater closet? And does it go through and connect to the water heater?
See. Say that one more time.
Does that pipe connect to a valve located on the water heater itself?
Would that be on the top or the side?
Either one.
I believe it's on the, yes, it is. It's leaking out of the top.
Okay, that is the TMP valve. That's a temperature pressure relief valve. Now, you could possibly just replace that valve if the water heater is still performing well. But you're going to need to get a plumber to replace it.
Okay. Well, that's good. I might save I called about getting another hot water heater, and it was going to be about $1,500 for the heater and installation. Does that sound about right?
That's really inexpensive. That's really really good. Yeah.
I wouldn't worry. At least
go for what, $400-500?
Well, depending on the size, yeah, you can get them 5, 6. That's pretty cheap.
We were talking probably in the
6 to 8.
50 to
Yeah,
for water heater.
if we're talking a 50 gallon.
Yes, because they're taking on all the responsibility of it being to code, leaking, everything else. A lot of people think that's a lot of money for installation. It really is not because they're warranting it. They're taking on the code violations. They're taking on a lot of responsibility.
Here's the best thing. Here's the best thing I can tell you about paying somebody to change out your water heater. Jim and I both could change out our own water heaters, no problem. The pro, the hassle, the time, the liability, and everything else that goes with it, it's worth paying the plumbing company to do it. And I do. I don't do that myself.
Oh, my last one.
I can do it. That's good advice. I really appreciate it. I will follow your advice, and I'm so glad I called. Thank you.
Well, we're glad you did too, William. Merry Christmas and a blessed one to you, brother. Thank you for calling this morning. We appreciate you. Let's see. Merry Christmas, bud. It looks like we've got a break to get to. Let's get to that break, and then let's get to James and your calls too at 210-599-5555. 210-599-5555. Window World and Brickstone. We've got an exciting 2025 ahead for Window World and Brickstone. We can't wait to share some of those things with you in the new year to come. Right now, we just want to tell you how much we appreciate your business in 2024, how much we appreciate our great customers and the wonderful people of South Texas and the Hill Country. It's just been a wonderful year, and we are so pleased and so proud to have served so many people in our neighborhoods. We invite you next year, and even now, we've got some great some great financing options for you. 15 months, zero down, zero interest financing. We have that in place. We have longer term financing. If you have, let's say you've got a large project and you want to spread it out a little bit, we've got financing options that can go up to 10 years plus with less than $100 a month payments. I mean, really and truly, if you need it done, home improvement wise, from our award-winning windows, insulated siding, beautiful stucco and brickstone products, of course, gutters and gutter protection, entry doors, patio doors, even our beautiful new line of patio covers. We would love for you to call us at Window World and find out why more of your neighbors, more of your friends, more of your family choose Window World than any other home improvement company out there. Our phone numbers, our showroom directions, and even a way to sign up for a free, no obligation consultation. You can do all of that right online at windowworldtx.com. Windowworldtx.com. And from our family to yours, Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. Window World, improving homes, changing lives.
Good people out of Wild Birds Unlimited. So much to tell you about Wild Birds Unlimited this time of year. They're really stocked up on all the things that birds need for the fall. They need those high oil things that will help them get through the cold winter months. They've got the suet cake. They've got the black oil sunflower. So many different things that your birds need this time of year to help them get through the winter. Also, great ways to provide them with water. Beautiful bird baths, beautiful fountains. They also have everything that you need with nesting boxes. Just everything related to birds you will find at both Wild Birds Unlimited locations. And moving into the holiday season, they're already decorating a tremendous array of nature-related gifts. Where I do a lot of my holiday shopping, I'll promise. You know, the original store is here at the corner of Northwest Military and Eastern, in that shopping center. Their new store is out on the north end of Verney, right in where the 28 Songs Brew House is. And if you need to call them, 479-BIRD for Wild Birds Unlimited.
Never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You'll never have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Oh no. Stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools. I thought it was my stomach. People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, Trey Ware here. I am so looking forward to the holidays this year. As you know, I've been going to here in Texas, and finally, for the first time in my life, I hear so much better. Thank you, Dr. Sally. If you or somebody that you love is having a hearing issue, or maybe it's been a long time coming, I want you to see my friends at Here in Texas. This is a great time of year to be able to do it too, because coming up on the end of the year is when we start to lose those year-end benefits. You can use those benefits right now to improve your hearing or the hearing of a loved one at Here in Texas. HEAR, HereInTX.com. I'm just so looking forward to being with family and friends and having conversations, not being isolated anymore, because I'll be able to hear what's going on. How about you? Here in Texas is ready to work with you to improve your hearing. HEAR, Here in Texas. And right now, be sure you use those year-end benefits before you lose them. Contact my friend Here in Texas right now. HEAR, HereInTX.com. Here in Texas.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies for seniors just like you. And at AbacusPays.com, we created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just a second. There are no fees, no obligations. Get real value for your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at AbacusPays.com.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 107.1 KTSA, KTSA.com, and of course on Facebook Live. Thank you to those out there joining us on Facebook Live. Tell your friends about it. We'd love for them to join us as well and make this a regular part of your Saturday morning routine as well. My name is Martin Bomba. That's Jim Smith right over there.
Break coming in, I could not hear the buffer music on Facebook.
I don't get it. I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't. But you heard it before.
The other song, I heard it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I didn't hear the buffer at all.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm not getting why that's happening because anyway, we'll figure it out at some point. Hopefully they can hear us, they can hear the callers, and we do have callers on the line at 210-599-5555. Let's go to James. James, good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
750 square foot house for empty nesters. It's here being concrete, wooden joist, hardwood floors directly on the joist. We want to remodel the house and kind of get it ready for us. It's small, we don't care. All those joists and stuff are rotten. We're trying to look at the pros and cons versus a complete knockdown, tear down versus a remodel. And I know there's some percentage of the house that you have to leave when you do a knockdown, tear out. So can you kind of give me some feedback, thoughts on that? Maybe what percentage of that house is maybe what I consider a knockdown or the remodel?
Well, if you're doing a remodel and depending upon the extent of the rot and the damage that you have, that's really what's going to determine whether you want to keep the bones and work your way back up. A typical gut remodel means removing all of the sheetrock, all of the insulation, all the way down to the studs, all the way down to the decking and the floor, and sometimes replacing the decking and the floor down to the floor joists. It is sometimes, I will tell you, depending upon the historical value of the home, if there's any sentiment attached to the home, sometimes in many cases, it's less expensive to knock down the structure and start from the ground up, for a lot of reasons. But the thing that's going to determine that for you is going to be the extent of the existing damage to the existing home and how far you want to go in your remodeling project. If it were me and I had to replace, half the studs in the house and I had to replace half the floor joists in the house, if I had to, go all the way down to the studs and if I had to do all of that, I would be I would be looking real closely at knocking down and then building back. Um, would you agree with that, Jim?
I completely agree. You said that you needed to keep a percentage of the original structure. Are you historic?
No, no. I do know it's different than a remodel. That you always need to leave a certain portion of the existing studs in the room, and you wonder why. And everything else is brand new. And I was wondering if there was some building code or something required.
No, not that I'm aware of.
You might have to look at your HOA in your neighborhood.
No, I know HOA. We're in this little neighborhood, Carroll Heights, off of Austin Highway, and
Okay, yeah.
I love the concrete here. People really don't like slab, and so I was trying to keep the secure team and just kind of work off of that if I could.
So you're located in Terrell Hills.
Carroll Heights.
Terrell Heights.
It,
It's a
is Terrell part of Alamo Heights?
No, it's San Antonio.
Okay, okay.
yeah, City of San Antonio.
My check, but I don't know about Alamo Heights and Terrell Hills. I don't know if they have a code that says you have to leave a portion.
Yeah, no, I'm not in there. Okay. Any architects or designers that you might start off with, kind of based on what I said?
Yeah, I would contact my friends over at Real Solutions Home. That's Zip Gist. And his number, if you'd like to call him, is 210-862-4995. It's 210-862-4995, and that's for Real Solutions Home. Zip Gist is the owner, and they do a lot of work for us, and I recommend them to people all the time.
The best way, and he's going to advise you the best way. He's not going to tell you, oh, leave it, and then you have a money pit. So
Yeah, that's the last thing you want, believe me. Well, we appreciate you, James. Thank you, brother. Merry Christmas. 210-599-5555 is the number to get in on the conversation this morning. 210-599-5555. Let's go to Raul. Raul, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show. Good morning.
Before I do that, I want to thank you for letting me know about the Brothers book. I've got that on my Christmas list.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. I mean, I still don't have it, so I'm crossing my fingers somebody's got it on my list. That's what I
Thank you for telling me about the Yacht Rock documentary. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
What did you say that was streaming, Martin?
String on Max. Yeah.
Recommendation. There's a book that came out this year called Willie Whalen and the Boys: How Nashville Outsiders Changed Country Music Forever. I think you should look at it.
You had me at Willie Whalen and the Boys.
Yeah. I mean, it even goes into like the relationship that was it Whalen had with Buddy Holly and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played with Buddy Holly, and in fact, it was kind of a miracle that that he's alive because he was. I don't know if he was sick or if Buddy was sick. I think he was sick and he didn't want to ride on the plane. He wanted to just sleep on the bus. And so he gave up his seat on the plane to the Big Bopper. And that's why Waylon survived. No, it was well, it may have ended up a coin toss, but he was sick. Yeah, he was sick, not the Big Bopper, and he didn't want to be on a plane. He wanted to be sleeping in the bus.
How long can recover from that? He even said, "Oh, the plane doesn't crash."
I think that was the last thing that he said to him was, I hope the plane doesn't crash. Yeah. And wow. Well, I will be getting that, Raul. Thank you.
Question is, I've got two 50-gallon water heaters in my attic in theory.
That's a lot of water.
Years old. Yeah. We've got three boys, they're 10, 7, and 5, so I need to replace those for another 10 years, right? There's before they leave.
Right. Yeah.
I'd like to replace it with a tankless water heater, and I was wondering what are some good things to get.
Do you have gas in your home?
I do.
Okay.
Is there a gas water heater just up there?
I'll tell you straight up the point of use of the instant hot water or the tankless, whatever you want to call it.
On demand.
Because you're not spending any energy to keep 100 gallons of water hot all day.
Yeah, you're going to see your utility bill go down, I would think.
Now, at that flow rate, your tankless may be a little bit more expensive because they may have to go to one with a commercial flow rate.
Yeah, that's possible. But whenever you go and speak to somebody, or if you have a plumber out and you talk to them about it, just tell them what you expect your annual, not your annual, but your weekly usage will be. Tell them how many people you have in the home, how many showers they take, and they can determine what size tankless you're going to need.
Will make it safer, because the one thing I'm trying to prevent is a whole bunch of water cupping out over the downstairs, the room below, all my son.
There's no more chance for that to do it than there is for a tank water heater to do it. There really isn't. If it's installed properly, you should have no problem.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this process.
Well, Raul, we're excited for you. I've got a on-demand water heater in my house, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Oh, where do you live?
I'm in the North Texas area, just in the Dallas area.
Okay.
They're going to check. They need to check your codes because there are a lot of municipalities have changed the code that says if you replace a gas water heater, it must be outside the dwelling.
Which with a tankless water heater, that's not a problem. It's super simple to mount it on the outside of the house. Sometimes they'll build a box around it just for aesthetics, but it doesn't even have to have one. The one that I have over on the downtown house, it's just sitting on the outside of the house. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Because I've got a brother-in-law who had a tankless outside and it froze. So I'm like, no.
Well, that would be the reason you would want to put
An insulated box around it. Yeah.
Good. I appreciate it, guys.
Well, thanks, man. We appreciate you being here this morning. Merry Christmas to you, Raul, and John, and who do we have coming up after John?
And Brian.
John and Brian, you're coming up first. When we come back from the break, we do have to take one real quick, but we will get to you. Your calls too at 210-599-5555 when we return on the Rockin' Home Show.
Stomach issues? Well, I am. Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, stomach pain, loose at school. People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Need parts now? O'ReillyAuto.com offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Auto parts.
This is the Rockin' Show on News Talk 550 KTSA at FM 1071.
That was a short break.
Yes, it was.
Edwin, do you have any idea who that is?
Oh, I know.
I have no idea who that is either, but that's an interesting version. Uh, Again, thanks to Don Cooper Stevens for putting all the music together for us. I know he sent me a list of it, but I can't access it right now. But all Christmas music today, getting us in the right mood for our upcoming Christmas this next week. And so we're looking very forward to that. Phone lines are open at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. Let's get right back to it. John, good morning. Welcome to the show. Fantastic, John. How are you doing today? Awesome.
So, and give them some comments. The first time I called your show,
Well, thank you.
part of the dwelling when they did an extensive ground up remodel.
Right.
And the reason for that is for the tax reason. If you leave a certain percentage of the structure in place, you may not be covered by current building code setbacks.
Ah, yes, that would be a reason. That would be a reason. Yeah.
I love callers. They call in and give us this info. I love it.
Yep, yep. I did a property up in the North Dallas area, and they were going to tear down a cottage and put up a McMansion in the University Park area close to SMU. The current, the original structure had a carport on the side of the dwelling with only about a 2-foot setback from the property line.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that wouldn't go today.
The front part of the facade of the structure from the door to the edge of the carport intact. And they built a mansion that went 2 feet off the property line.
Wow.
As an appraiser, when I went to measure that wall, I went on thin because it was difficult getting through there with, and they had just gravel on the ground. They didn't try to, plant any grass or anything.
I am quite certain that their neighbors love them.
Very good friend of mine. He was also a Southwest Airlines pilot, and surprised that they were able to do that. Went to city council, pled his case, and city council told him it was grandfathered, and so did I.
Wow. Wow.
You'll see a house raised, except the entire front wall will be left in place.
Well, the
Go from that original dwelling.
right, right. Well, it's the same reason that people build barndominiums, right? They build a barndo so it looks like a barn on the outside and it could look like a mansion on the inside, but they're paying taxes on something that looks like a barn. So,
Side and the interior, the barn was removed, and the whole dwelling was residential property.
oh yeah, crazy, man. Crazy. Well, you know what? We get taxed to death, so people do find ways to get around it. So,
This is giving me info. I'm telling you.
but on a side note, and hey, thanks, John. Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate you, man. On a side note, when it comes to can you and should you, um, can you do something construction wise that may skirt the current building code? Can you, uh, like those folks did, use a loophole and get around the setbacks? Can you do that? Maybe you can, and maybe it's completely legal. You have to ask yourself, is that the kind of neighbor I want to be? Is that the kind of neighbor I would want to have? And is it worth the hard feelings that it's going to create with somebody who lives right across the fence from me from now on? And you know, if you wouldn't like somebody doing it, you may want to rethink doing it yourself. Whether you legally can or you can't. That's just my 2 cents. That's the way I look at things.
What I'm talking about that I picked up on that is that because I live in the country,
Yeah.
you know, I would be hard pressed to prep a property line for one of my neighbors.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, if you live on 8, 10, 12, 15 acres, that's not an issue. But on a city lot,
What of that is building the barn in minimum, having the tax roll put in there, and then you can actually build inside that structure. I knew that with barn dominium, but I
yeah,
didn't realize your tax structure was for a barn dominium.
yeah. Why do you think so many people do it?
And
I I mean, until our tax people, decide that they want to start doing something different, which as soon as they can figure out how to make more money doing it, they will. Um, but
no,
yeah,
do that.
no.
No, not at all. I told somebody this past week, it's just amazing how everybody is looking for at the government on the shutdown and how are you going to solve this? How are you going to do this? What are you going to do? They're asking the government to solve the problem when government is the problem.
No politics. No politics. Hey, let's go back to the phone lines. 210-599-5555. Let's go to Brian. Brian, good morning. Welcome to the show. Fantastic, Brian. How can we help you?
I love trees, no, I still love it. It's just, they're hard to clean. Once I clean them out, 2 minutes later, they're full of leaves again. I'm just saying the question, but take them off, do it now.
I would recommend that you consider putting a leaf protection system on there. We've got a great one at Window World, but there's several of them out there. If you put a leaf protection system on there, it doesn't mean that you'll never have leaves that collect on top of the gutter, but it means that your gutters will not clog. You'll have to clean them much less often. I would say probably maybe twice a year, and it's so much easier to clean them because all you have to do is blow the leaves off the top of the gutter protection. But I wouldn't do away with them. No, no. There's a reason that you have gutters on your house. They are a necessary thing in most people's situations, and I would consider adding a leaf protection to that. Well, and that's something that our guys could look at when they're there to see if you need to adjust the slope on your gutters. Because if they didn't slope them right, you may have water pooling in the center of them. They may not be draining fully. And yes, that is something that they can look at and adjust if they need to. It's by the running foot. It's by the linear foot, and I'm trying to remember what our gutter cover runs. I want to say it's like $10 a foot or something like that, $12 a foot.
Was 10, I think 10.98 a foot.
Okay, so yeah, my guess is somewhere between $10 and $13 a foot is what you'd be looking at. Yeah. Hey, thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Before we go into the top of the hour, I know that we're getting ready to get into the top of the hour break. Next hour, we will be talking about a few different things in between phone calls. If we have phone calls, we're going to keep taking your phone calls at 210-599-5555. But we do want to look at the topic that we started last week, and that was some renovation tips that we were talking about that came from Gio Capolongo and the Violation Clinic, and we'll finish that up today, regardless. But if we have time, we're also going to get to some overlooked electrical fire hazards and how to prevent those in your home. I think that this is a really good time of year to talk about that, and we will certainly be doing that as well. Before we go into break, Jim, let's let everybody know how they can get a hold of you during the week in between shows.
.achealth at gmail.com.
And you can drop me a line at mbomba, that's MBOMBA, at windowworldtx.com. Mbomba at windowworldtx.com. So if you have questions, maybe something you didn't want to talk about on the air, or comments, we would love to hear from you. And always great to see those emails. And as always, we try to respond in about 72 hours. If you don't hear from us, bump us again. But typically we try to get back to you within 72 hours. Coming up again in the next hour, we're going to be talking about the code violations and things that you can watch out for in renovations, and some electrical fire hazards that you can avoid when we come back on the Rockin' Home Show.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust.
I'll be right back.
Where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfire.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm railing up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these bowls?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
And
More at SmokeyBear.com.
With U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and Guide County.
Tony, FM 971. Worldwide. Breaking news happens here, and it happens.
Breaking news.
from ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz this morning saying 200 people are injured 40 seriously after Friday evening's attack at a Christmas market in Magdeburg in East Germany. ABC Tom's there reports the death toll is now 5.
Sadly, the death toll could still rise further. There's a real sense of disbelief in this German city that an attack at a Christmas market just 5 days before Christmas could take place. I think it's really important to underline this attack last night is not before a terrorist attack, and there is no Islamist link at all.
Ryan has more. A painful holiday government shutdown narrowly averted the Senate approving a new bipartisan deal just minutes after the midnight deadline. On this vote, the Eastern for what? The threshold the House overwhelming capital legislation, the third attempt by Speaker Mike Johnson to fund the government after President-elect Donald Trump, billionaire Elon Musk, tanked his first bipartisan bill, and Republicans' Plan B failed on the floor Thursday. The bill that passed funds federal operations through March, but without President-elect Trump's demand to raise the debt ceiling. Also on Capitol Hill Friday, Senator Mitch McConnell gave his last floor speech as Senate Republican leader.
Our colleagues haven't taken the last of me. I still fully intend to keep frustrating my critics.
Years ahead, McConnell said he'll use his remaining time in the Senate to restore American leadership and American strength. South Dakota Senator John Thune will take over from McConnell in January when Republicans take the majority in the House and Senate. You're listening to ABC News.
The holidays are upon us, and you know what that means. It's a crazy, stressful time of year. That's why I want to tell you about Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers, with 7 proven forms of magnesium to target every system in your body. Don't let stress and burnout ruin your holiday. Get Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers and give your body the magnesium it craves. It's the perfect gift for yourself or a loved one's holiday season. For an exclusive offer, go to bioptimizers.com/radio and use promo code radio during checkout to save 10% and transform your health. That's bioptimizers.com/radio.
Bills piling up, rent due, just need some extra cash to get by? Then you need to go to getcash.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $1,000 in minutes.
no need to search through endless loan sites. GetCash.com is one of the largest lender networks. They can help anyone get up to $10,000 regardless of their credit score. Next day, when you need fast cash help, go to GetCash.com. That's GetCash.com.
Day 3 for delivery drivers for Amazon on tips lines of 4 states after the company ignored the deadline. The Teamsters Union had set for their contract negotiations. About Hopewell, a union member who drives an Amazon truck.
We're all individuals every day, and I think $1 billion company can afford to give us the benefits that we're looking for.
Amazon claiming most of those protesting are contract workers, not Amazon employees, and insists there's been no impact on deliveries. A Missouri judge ruled that the state's near total abortion ban is unacceptable under an unconstitutional amendment in the state protecting abortion rights. The city of Miami is hamming it up for the holiday.
White House historically pardoned turkeys for Thanksgiving, but in South Florida around this time of year, it's a whole different animal. Hey,
World First for our lucky friends, Linda and Alcoba, and wish them health years ahead.
Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava publicly pardoning the two pigs named the leads of the musical vintage. They're responsible for pigs for a traditional Cuban-American Christmas feast. Mike Dubosky, ABC News.
The pigs are set to live out their remaining years at an animal shelter near Miami. No one hit all numbers in last night's Mega Millions draw, meaning that the Tuesday strike now expected to be worth $924 billion. Someone wins the big jackpot. It'll be the biggest Mega Millions payout ever. This is Dave Packer, ABC News.
Holidays are upon us, and you know what that means. It's a crazy, stressful time of year. That's why I want to tell you about magnesium breakthrough from Bioptimizers, with 7 rich forms of magnesium to target every system of your body. Don't let stress, burnout, ruin your holidays. Get magnesium breakthrough from Bioptimizers and give your body the magnesium it craves. It's a perfect gift for yourself or loved one's holiday season. For an exclusive offer, go to bioptimizers.com/radio and use promo code radio.
Retail 3 to 4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 107.1 KTSA, KTSA.com, and of course on Facebook Live. Thank you to those joining us out there on Facebook Live this morning. We appreciate you so much for being there and spending some time with us this Saturday morning. My name is Martin Bomba, and that's Jim Smith.
And we are here to help. And if y'all were watching a minute ago, yes, I had a problem with the chair. I almost lost it.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Hey, listen, 210-599-5555 is the number. 210-599-5555 is the number to get in on the home improvement conversation this morning. On a side note, tonight, I got a great concert I'm going to. You're going to be jealous. You're going to be jealous. April Wine and Molly Hatchet on the same bill.
I hate you.
It's going to be so much fun.
Oh.
I hate to say it, but it's going to be kind of like going to see 2 tribute bands, because Danny Joe Brown has, of course, passed away a long time ago with Molly Hatchet, but And then Miles Goodwin passed away earlier this year with April wine. So
I'm hurt. You could have gotten me tickets as a Christmas.
then you'd have had to drive up here to see it, though.
I don't care. I would have made the drive.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's the first concert we've been to in a while, actually.
But see, I would probably drive up alone because Jeannie's just not into that genre. She's not.
Which is wild to me. I don't know how you can be.
A lot of music, but most of her music, she likes it softer.
Well, hey, it takes all tastes.
And I have to say that her genre of choice is Christian music.
Yeah.
Anything Christian.
Yeah. And there's a lot of great Christian music out there. I mean, there's a lot of really good Christian music out there. But hey, let's get back to the phone lines. 210-599-5555. Let's go to Gary. Gary, good morning. Welcome to the show. Did Gary drop off?
I think so. We've got Chuck.
Hey, Chuck. Good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show. Good morning, Chuck. Edwin, anybody? Okay. Okay. Well, if they come back, we'll come back to them. In the meantime, last week we started talking about some renovation tips that came from expert Gio Capolongo with the Violation Clinic. And we were talking about things that if you're renovating your house, just some kind of pitfalls that you can avoid and things that you might want to look out for when you're doing that. And just to recap on if you're planning on staying in your home when the renovation is taking place, these are the steps that we talked about last week. Removing as much furniture and personal effects that you can, as many of the contents of the house as you can. Throw away anything that you're not going to keep after all renovation is done. Creating a separate entrance or exit to the space to avoid going through the construction debris daily and tracking it through your house, and then blocking off your space with a temporary wall or curtain or curtain wall. I think these are all great pieces of advice. And then continuing on, we said avoid making changes in plans and specifications that are already approved, because every time you make a change in your plans, the dollar signs continue to add up, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's not just a dollar sign.
Well, time too.
One of the things that affects the dollar signs is that if the plans and specs have been approved and you make a change, now they have to go back to
Maybe. Not all the time. I mean, if it's something as simple as, say, well, yeah, I know I said I wanted grids on my windows, but I don't want grids on my windows. That's but if it's structural, yes, you have to go back and get a reapproval. If you move a wall, yeah.
Or you change the layout of the air conditioning system or the layout of the plumbing or electrical. If you change any of that, then you're going to have to go back to permitting.
And all of those things mean money out of your pocket, and it also means delays in the completion time of your project. So good reasons not to do that. So number one is make up your mind and stick to it. The time to make those changes is during preliminary plans, revisions of preliminary plans. When you're working on the plans, that is when you need to make those changes, not after the construction has started. It says have all your FF&E decisions made. What does that mean? Do you understand what FF&E is? I read it 2 or 3 times as I was reading this article, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Somebody's going to call up and say, dummy, it means this. So anyway, have all your plans and permits issued prior to commencing the work. That's a big one. Do not start construction or work without your permits in place.
Right. Not on construction, period.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a bad idea, right? Why? Because number one, you can get shut down. An inspector can come by and shut down your work site. Number two, you can be fined for working without a permit. And number three, when you are fined for working without a permit, it can cost you double on your next permit. So don't start work without a permit. What's the next one?
Next one is have bi-weekly meetings with contractors or design professional to ensure schedules are being followed and on time.
Yeah, a lot of misunderstandings can be avoided and a lot of miscommunication can be avoided if you have these meetings with your contractor. I would go further. I'd say have a weekly meeting with them. Even if it's a 10, 15-minute meeting on the job site, just, hey, how's it going? Are there any questions you have for me? Are there any things that I should be asking you? I think bi-weekly is probably not enough. I like weekly.
No, yeah. And then I got a text and with the from the guru of the garage.
Okay.
And he said it's furniture fixture. It says furniture fixture and equipment.
Oh, furniture, fixture, and equipment. Okay, so all of your furnishings, everything that you would have to furnish your house, your lighting fixtures, your appliances, and so on. Sinks, bathtubs. Yeah. Thank you, Louie. Now I feel like a complete idiot. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. The next one, we have a designer to oversee all of the daily issues. For I will say this about designers. For a homeowner, it's a good idea. For a contractor, it's a nightmare sometimes.
The idea what they want.
Yep.
And the contractor, it can be next to impossible to realize
That vision, yeah. And reasonable doesn't always factor into it, you know.
We've worked with a few, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to disparage designers at all. Designers are important. I like designers. My wife is a fantastic interior designer. I love that. I'm glad that it's my wife and I don't have to go out and hire somebody else to do it. But if you do, tell them to be gentle on the contractor, please. That's what I'm going to say. What's the next one?
If they design something, tell them to make sure with the contractor that it can be done.
Yeah, sometimes just because you can dream it doesn't mean it can happen. I know that we've been conditioned to believe if you can dream it, it can be. Not always.
Next one is going to be expect unforeseen conditions. These are unavoidable with any renovation, and it is. And the designer is one of those unforeseen conditions.
And you can be sure of it.
Right. You can design everything, and then oh wow, that won't work.
It's not if something unexpected is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just to what degree is it going to happen? That's it. And I don't say that to scare you. I just say that to condition you so you're not upset when it happens. I have never done a construction project of any magnitude that did not have at least a few unexpected twists and turns. Never. Not once.
I was working with a designer that designed a house that all the door panels matched. Okay?
Okay.
That's great. But she would insist that the door panel, when they all matched, that the size of the windows, placement of hardware, everything matched.
Exactly. No matter what size the door was.
And that's impossible.
Yeah.
You know, you're not accounting for the frame of the door. Yeah, when you stick your tape on, this is a 36-inch door, you stick your tape on the brick and it says, okay, I've got 6 feet, I can put two 36-inch panels. Wrong.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. So that's the other thing is just expect the unexpected because it's going to happen. And then lastly, have a plan, at least on this section, lastly, have a plan in place for the added expense and possible additional time added to the project. Always have a little bit in the kitty for those unforeseen things so your job's not held up. I'm not saying that you need to budget a ton, but yeah, we do have callers online. AC and John, don't go anywhere, please. You're coming up next. We do have to take a break, and we will get to you first when we come back, AC. But right now, I want to talk to you about Window World and Brickstone, the #1 home improvement and window installation company in San Antonio and South Texas. is here and ready to serve you. We've been family owned and operated since 1947. My grandfather started Brickstone in 1947. Through the years, the family has kept this business, and I'm very proud to say that our kids now in the business are the fourth generation of family owned and operators of Window World and Brickstone now. We really love our customers and love doing a great job for them. We want them to recommend us to all of their friends, and that's how we've grown as we have. The referrals have just been tremendous, and we continue to do everything we can to make sure that our customers want to refer us to everybody that they know. In value, quality for quality, you won't find a better window or better siding value at any price. We offer manufacturer direct volume pricing, which can save you thousands of dollars over many competitors out there. Our beautiful architectural line of windows by Windsor will blow you away. If you want something that's just completely stunning, that's going to compare to the highest end windows that you're going to see anywhere, and come in at 20 to sometimes 40% or more less than the other options out there, be sure to ask us about our architectural collection by Windsor. We also have some of the most beautiful siding options that you're going to find anywhere. Beautiful entry doors, gutters and gutter protection, patio covers. Yeah, we can help you with that as well. We've got a gorgeous line of patio covers that we'd love to talk to you about. Window World is also very, very strong in our commitment to give back to our communities, with right at $14 million being donated to the Window World Cares Foundation in support of St. Jude, as well as supporting the Veterans Airlift Command, the Red, White, and Blue Initiative, and so many other great military initiatives. We are so proud to support our military and our veterans. Window World is your choice for home improvement. Get other quotes. That's great. But before you buy, be sure that you talk to Window World. Give us a look on windowworldtx.com. Windowworldtx.com. Merry Christmas to you and your family from our family at Window World. Window World, improving homes, changing lives.
Would know it, but most financial advisors are pushed in a box. I'm just here to explain to you and let's provide you a little insight about what financial advisor can just tell what their company reports themselves. That advisor has to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited here, not restricted to the soul to be best just suitable. Advisors with this new standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 210-985-3100. 210-985-3100. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
If you or someone you know were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma within the past 20 years, listen up. For years, the weed killer Roundup was used in homes, farms, and gardens. And now studies have proven a direct link between Roundup and this deadly cancer. So if you or someone you know have been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, time to file a claim is running out, so don't delay. Call 800-712-2300. 800-712-2300.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center may not be available in all states.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Man, he got some funky stuff in here today. I like this. I think we know what the theme is today. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Good stuff from Don Cooper Stevens there. Courtesy of Don Cooper Stevens providing the music for the show and just doing a bang up job every time he does it. Thank you, Don. Appreciate you, brother. We need to get together and play. We need to get together and play some golf, man. If you're out there listening, let's get back to the phone lines as they are full up. If you try right now, you're not going to get a nothing but anything but a busy signal. So be sure to continue trying. 210-599-5555. 210-599-5555. Let's go to AC. Good morning, AC.
Hey, Martin, I won't be on long. Just wanted to say how lucky you are to go to those shows. I was fortunate enough to see April Wine many times. I never got to see Molly Hatchet, but one of the things I'm not crazy about some of the classic rock stations is they don't play groups like Molly Hatchet, Frank Marino, most of the 70s. It's kind of more poppy and, just enjoy yourself with that.
Hey, AC, I appreciate that. I'm going to have a blast tonight. I regret that I never got to see Molly Hatchet with Danny Joe Brown, who was, of course, their legendary lead singer. I did get to see April Wine one time at Sunken Gardens when Miles was with them. This was probably 25 years ago, and maybe more than that. But man, April Wine back in the day when Nature of the Beast was released. That's when I became a huge fan, and then went back and discovered some of their older stuff. And Roller is my favorite of all time. Love that song.
Well, I grew up with pop music, KTSA when it was a music station, and I didn't really hit rock until I went off to college. And I was very fortunate to work a lot in my radio career at rock stations, so I picked up a lot of history and information working with audio files and people who know this music way more than I do. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you and your show. A lot of good stuff. All of the stuff that you just did on the permits and all that. People really need to listen. I've seen accidents where people use unlicensed, personnel to help them to save money. And just wanted to wish you and your family and your business a Merry Christmas.
God bless you, AC. I appreciate you so much. AC, if the people out there who don't know, AC Cantu has been around the radio business in San Antonio and Texas forever, and she knows probably more people than she's forgotten more people in radio than I'll ever know. But appreciate you being a listener. It means a lot, AC. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to Don Cooper. He's been over there for over 30 years, and I don't think he gets enough credit because he's a behind guy.
And that's why I make a point to mention him every show, because Don is a backbone of KTSA, and make no mistake about it, there's a lot of stuff that would not happen without Don. Appreciate him. Well, AC, Merry Christmas. God bless you. Okay, let's get to our next caller, John. John, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning and Merry Christmas. I have two questions. So, one, I bought a house 10 years ago. It's a two-story house, and so the top stairs is mostly carpet. I wanted to replace it with some wood flooring. Wanted to see if that could be a DIY, or if you could just maybe a company that you would recommend for that. But I've got two small dogs, and I was looking for some type of wood flooring that that would not be able to be scratched, by the paws of the dog.
Have you considered? Go ahead, Jim.
Definitely say vinyl plank. Vinyl plank, it's made and it looks and feels like wood, but it resist the scratches, and the finish stays longer. And to answer the question, yes, you can do that on the upstairs as a DIY. If you're comfortable pulling the carpet, putting an underlayment on, and then putting the floor on. You can buy that floor with the underlayment attached to the floor already. That's not going to work for you. With you being upstairs, you're going to need a good underlayment besides the flooring, so it doesn't echo downstairs.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah, that is the one thing that I will say with LV, also known as LVP, luxury vinyl plank flooring. LVP flooring is much more scratch resistant than any wood flooring. It's water resistant, unlike most wood flooring. It can look great. I will say that it does not sound and feel just like wood. Don't think it does, because it doesn't. It's and that's why you need that underlayment. And I would suggest doing an underlayment with a cork backed product. If you do that, you've got a product that's going to give you a lot less echo, a lot less of that clicky sound that you can get out of an LVP, and it'll look great for years to come. With dogs, that's what I would recommend as well.
So now downstairs, in in the dining room, I do have currently wood flooring, but what is the best way of polishing that up? What type of like liquid or detergent?
Murphy's oil soap. If it's real wood, Murphy's oil soap. It's going to clean it. It's going to condition it. Now you still need to put a wax or a coating to seal it, but the Murphy's oil soap is going to be the best cleaner you can use for that.
Okay, okay. All right. So then, and the second question, if I may, the equipment that is used for the sink, let's say in the kitchen, for when you turn the hot water on, it takes forever for the hot water to reach the sink. I know it was mentioned before, some type of equipment to install.
Martin, that's you.
Okay. For the one more time.
It's I'm sorry, with hot water, getting it to.
Oh yeah, that's the Watts recirculating system. It's the Watts hot water Watts water recirculating system. You hook it up on the water heater itself. It has a timer on it, and you can set the highest points of usage in your day. In other words, when somebody is going to get up and take a shower in the morning or take a shower in the evening, you set it to recirculate at those times. You put the recirculating point at your furthest point in the house. So if your master bathroom is the furthest away, put it underneath your master bathroom sink. If it's a guest bathroom, put it underneath your guest bathroom sink. And that way it circulates hot water throughout the system at all times during that timer being set, and it gives you almost an immediate hot water.
Now,
I see. Okay.
now, bear in mind, anyone that wants to put in a water circulating system, when it's running, it's going to cause your energy bills to go up a little because of the pump running.
It does, but it's a very low energy consumption product. It really is. Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you have to weigh in if you're trying to be energy efficient or comfortable. You have to weigh that in.
Well, but you also have to know how much water you're conserving. Whenever you have that type of a system and you turn your shower on, and let's say you turn your shower on in your bathroom, and it takes a minute and a half for that water to get up to temperature for you. Think of all of the gallons of water that you waste getting it up to that temperature with the on-demand, almost 5 gallons. You can save that 5 gallons by having the water, you turn that faucet on and within 5 seconds it's hot.
Right, and you are correct on that. I mean, you turn it on and you wait and you wait.
Yep.
Wait, finally it reaches, about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes later, and depending on, if it's like, fall or winter.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's got to heat up those pipes, right? So it's a trade out, but I highly recommend, and I've loved having those in my homes whenever I had regular water heaters. It's a great thing.
And when I say 5 gallons in a minute and a half, it would be 7 gallons in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm basing that on modern.
Yeah, a regular low flow shower head. Yeah.
If you've got an older shower head,
it could be.
Or if you eliminated the washer that regulates it, it could be much more water wasted.
Yeah, it could. It could. So yeah, I definitely recommend that, John, and I hope you get yourself one. Let me know how you like it.
All right, thank you. Thank you all. Well,
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Daniel, please don't go anywhere. We got to take a break. You'll be first up. I want to say good morning to my friend Mike Hermes out there watching on Facebook Live. Thank you, Mike, for being there. I owe you a phone. I owe you a phone call. I'll give you a phone call after the show today. Catch Mike and Holly this afternoon whenever they come on at 3 o'clock with the What's It Worth show. So real estate, real interesting right now. Let's talk about Apple Pest Control. Apple Pest Control, 210-695-8946. ApplePestControl.com is where you're going to find them online. And you don't have to wait till you have a pest problem to call them. The best way to take care of your pest control is to be preventative about it. Never have a problem when you call my friends at Apple Pest Control. They'll come in, talk to you about organic pesticides. They have licensed and insured technicians that are there to service your home and know what's the right direction to help you with that. You can get a quote over the phone. There's no hidden charges. No contracts to sign. That's right. I know it's hard to believe, but no long-term contracts to sign or any of that stuff. They are not salespeople on commission. They're there to do what's right for you, the customer. Give them a call at Apple Pest Control, 210-695-8946, 210-695-8946. They've been our family's pest control company for over 15 years, and I hope you will give them a chance to show you how great they have been for us. 210-695-8946, online at applepestcontrol.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Learn more at Viking.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, this is Bob Webster for the good people out of Wild Birds Unlimited. So much to tell you about Wild Birds Unlimited this time of year. They're really stocked up on all the things that birds need for the fall. They need those high oil things that will help them get through the cold winter months. They've got the suet cake. They've got the black oil sunflower seed. So many different things that your birds need this time of year to help them get through the winter. Also great ways to provide them with water. Beautiful bird baths, beautiful fountains. They also have everything that you need in the way of nesting boxes. Just everything related to birds you will find at both Wild Birds Unlimited locations. And moving into the holiday season, they're already decorating, have a tremendous array of nature-related gifts. Is where I do a lot of my holiday shopping, I'll promise you. You know, the original store is here at the corner of Northwest Military and Heathner in that shopping center. Their new store is out on the north end of Bernie, right in where the 28 Songs Brew House is. And if you need to call them, 479-BIRD for Wild Birds Unlimited. Hi, this is Bob Webster. You know, it's finally cooling down, means fall's really on the way. First thing you know, it's going to be winter. My friends at Medina want to remind you that this is a time you need to think about getting your landscape ready for winter. One of the most important things you do is feed it. Use a good, natural, organic fertilizer on there, and you'll strengthen your plants. You'll make them more resistant to cold, and you'll get them ready for that burst of growth that you're looking forward to next spring. Medina simply has some of the best fertilizers out there, like their fully certified organic growing green fertilizer. Great for your grass, your trees, your shrubs, your ground cover, your vegetable garden, your flower beds. Doesn't have to be watered in, can be put out whether it's hot or cold, 365 days a year, and that's just the start. They also have fine products like the Hastero plant and a new fish blend for your pots. Medina's there to help you through one more winter season with fine quality product. Remember the name, Medina Agriculture.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Rockin' Home Show. Martin Bomber right here, Jim Smith right there. Oh my, holy cow, two of you there. Morning, Louie.
Louis Sirianni. We talk about him all the time. Here's the man.
Yep.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, good to see you, Louie.
Epiphany is furniture, fixtures, and equipment. And the only reason I knew that it's actually a business term, you know. So I'm a businessman.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Oh, love Louie, man. If you're so inclined and you have a vehicle, which pretty much all of us do, you're going to have trouble with it from time to time, and Louie is the man to help you with those problems. And
throwing so much stuff at Louis. I mean, I'm surprised he even still talks to me.
the free advice you've gotten from Louie, you owe him a lot, man. Well, Louis coming up after the 11 o'clock break, and it's the automotive show, and you guys will want to check it out. It's also a lot of fun. It's entertaining and lots of great information for you. I want to say good morning to Pat, who's out there watching. Hi, Patsy. And Dylan, good morning, son. Appreciate you being there. And Dylan just gave me some great news. I always love hearing good news. Good morning to everybody out there in Facebook land. Appreciate you guys watching us. And thanks to everybody joining us on KTSA, ktsa.com. We appreciate you guys being there as well. Phone lines are open at 210-599-5555. I believe we still have Daniel there, do we not? Is Daniel still up?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Good morning, Daniel. Welcome to the show.
Hi there. How you doing, Martin?
Outstanding.
I got a question about my water heater. They say you should always drain it like every so often. I installed it about 2000. I want to say 2015. I've never drained it. Is it too late to drain it now?
No, it's never too late.
No.
It just may not give you the same effect. You may not be able to clean it out as well.
Uh-oh. Daniel, you still there? Oh, it sounds like we dropped Daniel. Do we have any other callers on the line right now?
No, sir.
Okay. So go ahead and finish your thought. About cleaning out the water the water heater. Don't feel bad.
With the older water heaters that haven't been cleaned out, the calcium or deposits may be, for lack of a better term, cemented in the bottom.
Yeah, it cakes up and it becomes solidified.
Right. So it may take you hours to drain that water heater. I mean, it really might. In worst case scenarios, I've seen where I've had to take the drain spigot off and use a probe.
And actually dig around in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not something I would recommend for DIY.
No, not at all.
And most of the time, especially if it's 2005 that he installed it, that's 20 years old.
Well, here's my advice, and let's be honest: a 2005 water heater, replace it. Save yourself the time, the trouble, the money. It's not the efficiency is not there. The output is not there. It doesn't matter what you do at this point to clean it. You're never going to get the quality or the efficiency that you're going to get on a new water heater. So yeah, it's 20 years. It's time to change it.
Exactly. Big commercial boilers, they have a clean out plate that you can remove the plate.
Right.
But residential hot water does not have that.
It does not. It does not. And here in Santa Fe, we've got a boiler on our house here, and I love it.
Is it domestic? It does all the domestic hot water. Showers.
Oh yeah, everything. My heat is also hot water, and it circulates through the floor. I have never had a more efficient heating system anywhere that I've ever been. I was skeptical about it. I was so skeptical about it that whenever I put in the mini splits for us for the summertime, I had made sure that they put them in with heat in them as well. I don't have to turn that on ever. I just don't. Because if I turn our bedroom here up to 68 degrees, I'm sweating in the middle of the night. I mean, it is that efficient. Um, it's so nice to get up and walk into the bathroom and not have freezing tile. It's fantastic. It's like the shower heaters that they put in the shower floors these days, but it's the whole house. And our puppies also love it because they get to lay on nice warm floors.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not something that we would normally have in San Antonio or in South Texas,
No.
and we don't need it. We don't need it there.
We also don't get frozen ground here.
Hmm.
You do. There.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been freezing every night. Mid 20s is normal. Highs we get up above freezing during the day, but there are multiple days in a row during the wintertime here that it never gets above freezing.
Yeah, we woke up this morning here in San Antonio to a crisp 43 degrees.
Yeah. So you were 43. I was about 26.
Yeah.
And we'll get up to about 50 today. But with the sunshine, I am telling you, it's glorious. 50 degrees in sunshine, 45 degrees in sunshine. If you're out in the sun, it is so comfortable. It is so nice, and especially if the wind's not blowing.
You know, I have to say that since for most of my life, the two things that if it got cold, I was done for the day. That was my feet and my ears.
Yep. Those are the two things.
I'm done.
I remember times whenever I would be out hunting as a kid and my ears would be so cold that they went numb. And that is the most miserable feeling to me. My ears are a miserable thing to get cold, and I got a lot of area to get cold here. So I
Well, I'm not going to say you have satellite dishes on the
although I was watching a guy on the news the other day, one of the news anchors, and he made me feel like I had tiny ears. So I don't feel so bad, I don't feel so bad.
Right. But see, also, if my feet get cold.
Oh, I hate having cold feet. Gosh.
There's pain involved.
You just can't get comfortable. You just can't. Oh, yeah. If you're walking and it's that cold, that is miserable.
I've been on job sites before that it got too real cold.
Mm-hmm.
That I would go to the truck, turn the heater on in the truck, let it get warm, take my boots off, and put my boots in the passenger side with the vent blowing
Into the boot.
and then put my feet on the driver's side to warm my feet and warm my boots.
I've only had to use them a couple of times, but when I discovered foot warmers that go in your shoes, those can be miraculous if it's below freezing outside. And for extended period of time that you have. I think the first time I used it was at a Green Bay Packers game, and boy, am I glad I had them, because that was miserable. Those people are insane. But
with hunting, if you go hunting in Colorado, even Big Bend.
Oh yeah.
East Texas, electric socks are a necessity.
Yeah. And a few years ago, Debbie got me an electric vest. It was made by Milwaukee, and it's a heated vest that has batteries in it, and it heats up, and I think that's pretty cool. If you need it, we rarely need that in San Antonio or our part of the country. But if you're somewhere cold, it sure does come in handy and nice.
You remember I used to hunt a lot in Terry Lake,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the Colorado.
Yeah.
And heated socks, electric socks are a necessity.
Yeah.
They were for me.
Invaluable, really.
They had the electric thermal full body, but I never got into that. I was always worried
About getting shocked. Yeah.
It's not shocked. It's low voltage. It's not enough to shock you, but it's enough to burn you because it's DC voltage.
Right.
And that's why I was worried about that. There's certain spots. If a wire shorts, I don't want to burn.
I would never wear electric underwear. I'll say that. Would not happen. Hey, listen, we got to take a break. We're up against a break, and when we come back, we're gonna wrap up our conversation about things that you can help in renovations to avoid problems and issues and the things you should look out for. We're going to wrap up that conversation, and I hope that we'll have time to get to those electrical fire hazards. We're going to talk about that too when we come back on the Rockin' Home Show.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to protect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise canceling headphones for you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28, in-store only.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your
TSA and FM 107.1.
I am Santa Claus.
Oh, that's the obligatory I am Santa Claus. Love it. The only thing that would make that better is if it was actually Ozzy singing it. That would be fun. That would be fun, yeah. Welcome back.
But he does a good job.
He does. He does a good job. Welcome back to the Rockin' Home Show, everybody. I'm Martin Bomba. That's Jim Smith.
And we are here to help. Everything from the roof to the foundation and everything in between and the radio.
That's right. So let's talk about the last couple of things on that list of.
I think we got them all.
Did we hit them all? The other things that were kind of the footnote was be sure to hire only a licensed contractor. Don't hire somebody that works out of the back of their pickup or out of their house, or cannot prove that they are a licensed contractor.
Right.
And check on that. Check on their credentials. Make sure that they're in good standing with a licensing board, with whomever.
And please also make sure their subs are licensed. If
Yeah.
you're a general contractor license, make sure the guy using for the AC is licensed. The plumbing is licensed. The electrical is licensed.
Very, very, very important. Absolutely. So our last topic today that we're going to talk about is
You missed one.
what did I
Make
miss?
sure that they have general liability and workers' comp insurance. You need to make sure you're covered.
Absolutely. And I do want to mention that general liability is a non-negotiable. If they don't have general liability insurance, finish that conversation, move on. If they don't have workman's comp in the state of Texas, I do want you to know that workman's comp is not required. So there are those that have it and there's those that don't. If they don't have workman's comp, you need to make sure that they have some way of assuring you that if something happens on the job, that you're not going to be liable for it as the consumer. So let's talk about electricity and some ways that we can help avoid some dangerous situations, especially this time of year. You know, as useful as electricity is, it carries a certain level of danger, and we talk about that every time we talk about electrical work and electricity on the show. Some of those things are obvious, like if you have an outlet that's shooting sparks, obviously you know you got a problem. Power supply line that falls in a storm, you know those are a problem. But others are way more subtle, and they can go unnoticed for years. And although they're not doing immediate damage, they can pose a threat to your home and your loved ones. So this is something that was compiled with 2 certified home inspectors. Here's a list of the commonly overlooked fire hazards and how you can guard against them. And we've got about 4 or 5 minutes, so we're going to move through them as quickly as we can. Number 1 is lack of GFCI protection. A risk that's easy to overlook is unprotected outlets in wet areas like the kitchen, the bathrooms, outdoor spaces. All of those by code should be GFCI. And without properly installed GFCIs, you could be at risk for electric shock. To see if you're protected, look for an outlet with GFCI testing button or a sticker stating that it's GFCI protected. The stickers are used when a single GFCI outlet protects several other outlets on the same circuit. So in other words, just because it doesn't have a button doesn't mean necessarily that it's not GFCI protected.
Right. Most of the time, they'll run the entire bathroom on one GFCI breaker protection, not plugs.
And also note this, that the mere absence of GFCI isn't necessarily a code violation. GFCIs were not required before the mid-70s. So if you have an older home, you may not have those GFCIs, but if you ever change anything out, you definitely want to put them in when you do upgrades or repairs.
I would say if you have an older home, if you're doing something or find out that it's not GFCI protected, do it anyway.
I agree.
There's a reason the code changed to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today, with the modern stuff, it's designed that a toaster or a hair dryer in the sink or the bathtub is not going to kill you.
Correct. We've got about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, so let's kind of zip through these. What's the next one, bud?
Overloaded circuits. Now, this is done with by a former division chief with the Oceanside Fire Department in California. Plugging in too many devices on a single circuit can cause overheating and potentially start a fire. Using long extension cords for appliances can also overheat the circuits and causes a fire also. Noting overloaded circuits with too many devices can pose a fire risk, and it's not just the number of devices on a single circuit. Another danger comes with well-intentioned homeowners take proper steps to remedy the issue.
Let's hit a few more of these. Closet incandescent bulbs, although incandescent bulbs are being phased out pretty quickly, and most bulbs nowadays are LED. If you have incandescent bulbs in your closet, although they're normally not a problem, if you have an enclosed area where heat can't escape and it's a higher wattage, it basically turns that space into a tiny oven. Think the easy bake ovens that we used to have when we were kids. That can be a problem. Improperly sized extension cords can be a problem. If you use an extension cord that's not meant to handle the type of appliance or power tool that you're plugging into it, that can be a problem.
The main thing to know or to look for that is if the cord is getting hot. It's probably not sized correctly.
Yeah, if you feel a cord that's getting hot, unplug it immediately and get a different cord.
Next one is exposed electrical parts. This is a big one, especially like in attics or the laundry room. Open sections of electrical panels or exposed wires can lead to accidental fires, shocks, and if you put something against it, put two together, now now you also have a fire hazard.
And just very quickly, worn insulation is a big problem. And you want to be sure that if you have any worn insulation or exposed areas of wire where the insulation is pulled away from it, be sure that you turn that circuit off and you replace that immediately. Want to say thanks again to everybody out there watching us on Facebook Live today. Thank you so much. Tell all your friends about it. Have them join us next week. Go to Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on Facebook. Like us, follow us, and to drop us a line during the week. For Jim, you would do this.
Email me at Jim, that's JIM, dot ACHELP, @gmail.com.
And to drop me a line, please email me at mbomba, that's MBOMBA, at windowworldtx.com. Louis Sirianni and the Automotive Show coming up next. Mike Hermes and Holly Hermes, What's It Worth show at 3 o'clock today. Want to tell everybody peace and love. A Merry, Merry Christmas to you and your family. God bless you. Go out, spread some kindness, make the world a better place. See you next time on the Rockin' Home Show.